Welcome to another episode of Ennova Innovation Lab podcast. I'm Nicole and I'm here with Neema Balolebwami Nelly, the founder of EMEA Venture Builder. Thank you so much for being here with us today and for your time.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yes, of course. We're glad to have you here. It's a pleasure. Why don't you start by telling us a bit about yourself and about your professional career?
Yeah, my name is Neema Balolebwami Nelly. I'm originally from Congo, DRC. It's in the central part of Africa. So I came in Barcelona in 2017 to study my second master's degree at University of Barcelona after finishing the first one in France. Then after my graduation in 2018, I took a training of entrepreneurship at University of Barcelona, like what you're doing here at Ennova. And I remember that time doing this training, I organized even an event. It was the first event at university about Innovation Day. And after that, I felt like I had this calling to become an entrepreneur. Over time, I created a consultancy company. I started with a consultancy company in digital transformation. Then after, in 2020, I went into the deep tech itself. And what we are doing at EMEA Venture Builder, it's building artificial intelligence solutions for businesses, mainly data automation, task automation, or object tracking and process automation for industries.
And how did you get into that? What led you to create EMEA?
During my consultancy project, when, as I said, after my graduation, I started with a consultancy. I've seen that companies were struggling to integrate new technology and they were looking for innovation, but they didn't know how to start and how to do that or how to use technology. And then I felt like I had this potential to help. In my second master degree that I did at University of Barcelona, we had a course of quantitative analysis where we had a lot of modules of data visualization, data analysis, and that helped me to really go into technology. And what I did, because this wasn't enough, I did a bootcamp of 12 weeks to learn Python, which is the easiest language ever that I would encourage everybody to learn. And I studied Python because I was like, I really know how to manipulate data, but how can we use this data to help optimizing operation of companies? So, and after this bootcamp, we launched this part of deep tech development, and from 2020 to 2023, to 3 years from now, I'm really proud to see how solution that you're building for companies, helping them, making impact for them, saving time, increasing production of what they're looking for, and being on the hype.
Yeah, no, definitely. Right now, what project is the one that you're most excited about in your company, and can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we develop a software to detect disease in healthcare. There is a disease called Crohn's disease. It's a gastrointestinal disease. It's a really so complicated diagnosis because mostly medical professionals they make a lot of mistakes because this disease have two types, ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Sometimes they might diagnose a person and think that it's ulcerative colitis and not, and after 5 years they find out like, oh no, it was Crohn's disease. So the person have to restart again, the treatment and so far. So I'm proud of this software that we managed to develop. It is about through image to identify the disease and helping measures like medical professionals speaking Catalan because I just speak Catalan now. So we had them to put a digital biomarker. We connect this software to the CT scan, and every time there is a pattern, the medical professional can just see some lines on the screen that there is a disease here, it's Crohn or ulcerative colitis. I'm really so proud of this innovation.
Yes.
Yeah, because it wasn't, I tried to do some research to find this that some people created it, but it wasn't there. Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is.
It's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. And so your company, not only, in what sorts of businesses do you help? Because medical is very interesting aspect to to create program?
Yeah,
for?
actually we have two business model.
Okay.
The first one, we create our own project and we launch like startups. And the other one is to provide solution for other companies. By this I mean we resolve challenges a company have. So we start from ideation and going into research because I believe in research output to bring value to companies. So after we create this technology, it can be in the form of software or mobile application. Mostly, I'm focusing a lot in healthcare because it's a sector that needs a lot of innovation and we don't have a lot of entrepreneurs there and there are a lot of opportunities as well. But I'm really general, but mostly focused a lot in the healthcare.
That's really cool. That's really amazing. And I think that's the right way to use the technology and innovation that we come from. But we've seen that with these new innovations, like it occurred before with crypto, there's a lot of hype when they start, and right now there's a lot of hype about AI and it's being used in everything. So how do you think that we can deal with this hype that might distort the reality of the business and its tangible use?
I think you should use them for good. Currently we have ChatGPT, which is a third generation of generative pre-trained transformator. I really like this technology because it includes internet, machine learning, natural languages that resemble to natural sounding of human interaction. For me, these technologies are good if you are using for better. If I would talk about ChatGPT, it's helping me, for example, to code, I have just to put all my output and then it will predict the next coding that is coming without missing any bracket. That is really incredible. For me, I can't, it's really impossible. And it's helping us to debug, debugging when you're doing coding, you need to debug sometimes. And so for me, it's like, we should do technology for good, especially in artificial intelligence. There is a lot to be done. Technology that were developed before were very discriminative, And I think we shouldn't do the same mistake that people have done before. For example, we should consider all the ethical consideration of artificial intelligence. Mainly, it shouldn't be discriminative. The algorithm should include the data of everyone. It should include different geopolitical location, different ethnicity, color, and different and gender. The other one is like privacy and security, because even if we're using people's data, we really need to protect those data. We need to respect sensitive data and not make them public. The other is technology for good. I really like when I see people building fancy technology, but sometimes they're not useful for companies. It's just a fancy one. I'm going to give an example. I'm an entrepreneur. What I usually do is like a pitching to people, to the audience. I do a lot of networking. This is part of my marketing strategy. This worked for me. It might not work for another one, but for me it worked. When I got to pitch to people, into my sentence, I have to use any hype name that exists. For example, now we have ChatGPT. I'm assuming that next time I'll pitch myself, I'll be like, I integrate ChatGPT into company to help you optimize your operation. This will be my next pitch. This I'm assuming. So what I'm talking about that last year, deep tech was on the hype. Everyone was talking about deep tech. And I was so surprised when I saw someone coming to me and asking me, the person asked me, what are you doing? So I was like, oh, we build deep tech. And she was like, oh, wow, I need deep tech in my company, but I don't know what is this. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
For me, she was a client already. So I was like, I want to use all this strategy to convince her to put deep tech technology, but I didn't know how. And then I was supposed to start defining what is deep tech for her, how she can integrate deep tech into. She was running an HR company, recruiting people. So we help her to build a software of tracking any footprint of someone on the web. It's like on Google, on social media. And by this, we integrate different API like Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on, automate the process of tracking. When people are doing a recruitment process, they usually track going on different social media to see what are your activities. And so we have to automate all of that, Just in 5 minutes, you'll be able to see all the information of Nicole on the web, what you're doing, your frequency of usages, what you posted, the content that you post. But my surprise was like, she wanted deep tech, but she didn't know what was it. What was deep tech, but she wanted just deep tech. And I assume people would like to use ChatGPT, for example, integrate ChatGPT, but they don't know what is this, you know?
Yeah.
I think building technology is good, but helping people is to understand what is this and helping them to use it. Because by my side, I'm like, okay, I wouldn't feel more comfortable if I build a technology to someone that would want to be used, you know, or the person want to know how to deploy it. And by my side, what I do, we help companies or people into this process of deployment of the company, usage and maintenance.
Yes, I agree completely. It's so important to educate people on the best use of the technologies, because if we use it to the fullest, we can really get the most out of it. I agree completely. This podcast is mainly listened by students here at ISI. So I was wondering if you have any advice for them or other people that are interested in a career similar to yours.
Never give up until it's done. I found a lot of challenges on my way. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. I started from scratch alone. And now I have a team of 7 people. You know, this is great. It's not easy as well. But never give up. You know, I'm a woman of color. For people, I don't know if people are seeing me, but I'm a woman of color. But I have a double challenge compared to other women. And I'm a woman of color in tech. So, you know, the challenges are multiplied. Mm-hmm. But never give up. Always follow your dream. Look for a mentor. Mentors are very important. You know, I started with mentors actually from the beginning till now. I mean, in every level, I change mentors for sure. But mentors are very important. Second, networking. You know, currently I've tried to do an analysis of, professional opportunities in the market, how people or our students can integrate themselves in the corporation. And I've seen everything mostly related to a relationship that you like, who know who, you know what I mean? What I would encourage you is like, first, be smart, you know. Second, networking is very important, you know. If you're applying, for example, to McKinsey, try to know who's working at McKinsey. It's very important because that person can sponsor your CV or your application. The other one is surround yourself with people who will encourage you, having a positive vibe of you and who will challenge you, not only people who look exactly like you. Be part of Ennova. I've been watching Ennova for quite a while. I know Arthur. He was here last year actually. And Ennova is one of good association of students I really like a lot. And I know you organize different events, not only entrepreneurship event, but corporate career track or recruitment. And I think that it's one of the ways that people can learn out of the classroom, out of professors. If you know why I became an entrepreneur? I became an entrepreneur because of 4 years from now, you know, when I went to 4 years from now for the first time, I was like, wow, what is a startup? I didn't know what's the definition of startup. I was like, oh, you have a startup. So I remember I was so jealous, but positively, and I was like, next year I'm gonna have my own startup as well here. Why I was so jealous? Because I saw this vibe, this energy of people, like, you know, people like encouraging one another, people exchanging experiences and trying, because we try and continue trying and fail and continue and move, you know. Sometimes I try this, doesn't work, and I move on. And the other thing that I really like a lot is the communication, visibility. If you don't know me, search my Instagram, my LinkedIn. I'm so visible. I publish myself a lot, not in the aim of showing up, you know, but the aim of communicating where I've been. For example, after this podcast, I will publish I've been at Ennova podcast, and you know, this helps people actually to get to know you, you know, and to know what your interests, what you can bring to the company next. Or if you're an entrepreneur, you know, entrepreneur, it's a different word. You need the collaboration, synergies people every time, and they check on you. who are you without you knowing, and I think communication is very important. Visibility, always visualize yourself. You can even post about your teacher. Today we had the course of strategic management. I really enjoy how the professor thought about strategic investment, things like that. Just complicate yourself on social media and bring and post useful content. And again, never give up. I'm really truly a testimony. I wasn't born in Barcelona. I came to Barcelona in 2017, and I strive, and I'm still striving. And the other thing is the people. I forgot to talk about that. People are very important. People will be a mentor. People will connect you, and people will lead you. So in brief, what's happening, my energy, still having this energy. Second, energy like I'll never give up. I'll continue to strive. I have my dream there. I have my visualization board that I wake up every morning. I'm like, yes, I want to reach out here. I'm going to have this center because this is one of my plan after 5 years. I'm going to have a center for infection disease, those rare disease. So I'm like, I'm going to have this center here, but I have this visualization board and I try to stay positive, and if I have challenges sometimes, we have this wind, And the other one is communication, visualizing myself, because this year was at 4 years from now. I've been a speaker, but I've been invited by speaker. How they recognize me? Not only by my posting, what I post and things like that. So visibility is very important. Networking as well. For students, go to Ennova. I encourage you again, go to Ennova, and never give up. Yeah.
Thank you. That's great advice. And you mentioned that you had a double, if not triple challenge. What do you think is the most challenging thing you faced, and how did you get
stereotypes? People usually think that people of color and the women are not good enough in technology. I find a lot of people, but they are minimal, and as a small percentage of people telling me, can you send your client to our company because they have a good technology provider than you? And I've seen another one was like, I don't think that you're good enough. I can connect you to another company so you can bring all of the client there. They can provide technology there. And then after, they'll give you a commission. Oh my gosh. These are shocking experience that I usually face. But minimal, on a minimal level. I wouldn't say maximum. The maximum is amazing people encouraging me, pushing me up, connecting me. But we have this minimal that's really very that discourage. The other one, sometimes I have limitation in terms of a mental being as a person, as a Black, because I don't find people who really look exactly like me, but at the same time of color, who can be a role model, because it'll be like, oh, that person passed there, so I can do the same to be there, but mostly not. But I'm like, oh, if not, so I have to build this way to inspire someone who will come back, not only Black people, but other people. But sometimes I have this limitation, imposter syndrome. Yeah, I do have it. It's here. It's my neighbor. I usually feel like, hey, you're not good enough. You can do that. People reject you. Even if I can have this general rejection, like everyone, but sometimes because I'm Black, things like that. But I'm still working on that.
And how do you work on that? How do you push
I'm so
through?
Expressive. I'm an extrovert person, but when I have this imposter syndrome, as I said, I have a mentor. I usually go to talk. I have different type of mentor, really professional one, and the other one who is cariñosa, they want to oh, I felt bad when someone rejected me, I have this kind of people. And the other one that have to build my confidence is networking. I go to different kind of networking into my sector, technology, and outside for my personal development. But it's still there. I'm still fighting, to be honest. Yeah, I'm still fighting, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I have one last question to wrap it all up. And it's, if you could leave us with one main message, what would it be?
Never give up. Always follow your dream. If I'll have your age, I would change the world in 1 week. By this I mean, I did a lot of mistakes before, but not knowing what was my passion. because I finished my study in 2018 and I run my company in 2019, but I had a year, a gap in between, because I was like, maybe consultancy was good. I started to apply for jobs. I mean, I had some promising one, but it wasn't my passion. My passion was more in entrepreneurship, know what you like the most, because if you like something, you really work on it. You will strive. You'll be patient, because life is about patience. It will never come overnight. You need to be flexible. You need to be resilient. And the other thing I will give you as an advice is to learn languages. To be honest, we're in Catalonia. Since I started to speak Catalan last year. I mean, I learned last year Catalan, and I'm native French speaker, so it's a little bit easier. It has opened a lot of doors here. So if you're a student, you're looking for an executive position, they will ask you for Catalan skills. If at least B1, like basic or elementary level. So you're still having time to learn Catalan. You have a lot of courses here. Then by the Ayuntamiento de Barcelona. Sorry, I sort of sound as well. You know what I mean? You just try to even know how to write in Catalan or to express, to communicate a little bit. And this will help you. Like, being in a bachelor degree or master degree is a time of preparation. I didn't know about that before. If I knew, I would be, I don't know, so far away. But I knew it after. So and then I went back to Catalan courses, challenging with the calendars, the agenda, you know what I mean? But you're still having time to learn Catalan and try to practice. Build a relationship here in the city in Sant Cugat de Barcelona. Go to networking events here at Ennova and outside of Ennova, and this will help you really to reach your goal, what you're looking for, and live your dream one day. Yeah.
Thank you, Neema. That's great advice. And thank you so much for being here with us and for giving us a bit of your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
And thank you, everyone that was listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode.